Hey guys, it's Cindy, and I want to talk today about dogs and kids. Dogs and kids can be a wonderful combination, or they can be a recipe for disaster. I want to give you a few things that you can do to set yourself and your dog up for success and to make an easy transition with that new addition. Because let's face it, when there's a new baby in the family, there's lots of stuff to think about. There's lots of stuff going on. So we want to make sure that the dog acting appropriately is not one of the things that we have to be worried about. So the most important thing is socialization, always. And the best time to socialize is puppyhood. That is when your dog's brain is most malleable, developmentally, they're open to new ideas. So let's take advantage of that. Have lots of positive interactions with kids, small children. There's a difference between a toddler and a preteen. So we want to do a variety of ages. And, take them places where kids hang out, the park, playgrounds. You can just be there with your dog playing a game of fetch, playing frisbee, giving your dog their dinner. They don't have to necessarily be interacting with the kids. I mean, that's a bonus and that's something to work towards. But even if they're just there, so they get desensitized to the sounds and the movement. And let's face it, babies, kids, they do things we would never dream of. They can be a little weird, especially babies. They look weird, they smell weird, they sound weird, and grown-ups, humans, act weird around them sometimes. So it's that socialization so that your dog is comfortable and not afraid of these little creatures. That's really what we want. So early socialization if possible. Obviously, if you didn't have your dog in puppyhood, as soon as you get them, start socializing them. And start as soon as you get your dog, even if you're not planning on having children. Who knows what the future is going to bring, right? And even if you don't have children yourself, maybe there's going to be grandchildren. Maybe there's going to be nieces and nephews. There's definitely going to be going to the park or going to the store. So we want to do that socialization. Don't wait till your dog is 10 years old and now you're going to have a baby, and so let's do some socialization. Yes, you can still do it, but my gosh, it's so much more challenging than doing it at 10 weeks. So socialization is the first step. And then once you know that you're expecting, you want to do it even more so. You want to play YouTube videos of babies so they really get used to the sound. And again, feeding them their meals, playing with them while that noise is going on. So they have that positive association, not the, oh my gosh, what is this weird thing? And doing that as soon as you find out, so you have more time to prepare your dog. Because again, you've got a lot of stuff going on. So let's make it as easy for you as possible. So continued socialization, and then basic obedience, basic manners. Really hone those skills with your dog. I like to, depending on the size of the dog, to teach the dog to either do a sit or a down whenever small children are around. So it's, of course, less likely that the dog is unintentionally going to knock over a toddler if they're laying down. And lying down is kind of a submissive posture for them to greet kids. And it's a more controlled than just that excitement. So a settle command, a down, a little bit of impulse control that way. So when you do have the baby and you bring the baby home, you can introduce them safely holding the baby. They can do a down or a settle and get used to the baby. Like everything else, the more they see it, it's like, oh yeah, we know what he is. It's no big deal. But if he never gets to see it, he's like, oh my gosh, what is that? And the interest is automatically piqued. So working on a basic command, basic obedience, so you have control over it. And then obedience commands like leave it, wait, stay, so that in different situations you can tell your dog what you need for them to do. Because again, it's not just bringing home the baby, but we want to prep them for toddlerhood and just the logistics of having a baby, that you're going to be busy, you're going to be preoccupied. And speaking of which, when you do have to be busy with the baby and you can't be focused on the dog, utilize those Kongs. Put some food, some really good food, give your dog that Kong. So if you're, doing something with the baby, you're changing some poo-poo diapers, getting the formula ready, whatever, where you're going to be preoccupied, keep your dog busy over there so he's happy and content. Do that redirection. And that's a bonus tip, because when that baby comes home, you're going to have everybody and their grandmother, people that you've met twice in your life, are going to want to just pop in and see the baby. So while people are meeting the baby, you can keep your dog preoccupied with a Kong. It's just so easy to do. So remember that little tip as well. Okay, so a couple of things that you can do to help introduce and to have peaceful coexistence between dogs and kids. And remember, no matter how great your dog gets, you never, ever, ever trust a child and a dog alone, unsupervised. There's too many variables. And bonus, make sure as your child grows that you teach them how to behave around dogs. That's really important, that they learn how to pet the dog nicely, to interact nicely, how to ask permission to greet a dog. So once your child is developmentally at that stage, teach them how to respect a dog as well. So till next time.